Have you ever been in a group of friends where everything looks fine on the outside, but inside, you keep wondering if I stopped talking, if I stopped showing up, if I disappeared? Would anyone really notice? Not in a dramatic way, just in that quiet everyday way where someone actually feels your absence. Maybe you're in the group chat but not really in the conversation. Inside jokes form that you don't quite understand. Plans happen, and you find out later. Or you're technically included, but emotionally optional. And the confusing part is, no one is being cruel. No one is rejecting you. Sometimes people are kind. So your brain turns inward. Maybe I'm boring. Maybe I don't matter that much. Maybe I'm easy to replace. That sentence, I'm easy to replace, hurts more than most people admit. Because it's not about popularity, it's about safety. You don't want attention, you want to know your presence actually matters. And if you've ever felt this, even in groups, even around people who like you, you're not broken, you're not dramatic, and you're not alone. Today I want to explain why some people feel replaceable in friend groups, even when they're liked, even when no one is doing anything wrong. And more importantly, what actually helps. Not fake confidence, not forcing yourself to be louder, not pretending you don't care, but something deeper. Emotional security. Let's start with a reframe. Feeling replaceable is rarely about your personality. It's about your nervous system. Some people experience belonging without experiencing safety. They can be part of the group, but not feel anchored in it. Liked, but not secure. Included, but not felt. Two people can sit in the same room. Same friends, same conversation. One feels relaxed. The other feels like they're auditioning for belonging, monitoring their tone, overthinking their words, wondering if they're too much or not enough. Same environment, different internal experience, and that difference isn't confidence, it's safety. Your brain doesn't just want connection, it wants predictability, consistency, reassurance. Not in words, in patterns. So when someone feels replaceable, what's usually happening is this. Their brain learned somewhere along the way. That connection can disappear quietly. That people pull away without explanation. That closeness isn't guaranteed. So instead of thinking, I belong here, their nervous system runs, I belong, for now. And that tiny difference changes everything. It turns friendship into something that feels fragile, temporary, conditional. Even when no one is actually treating you that way, your brain isn't responding to the present, it's responding to the past. Brains are prediction machines, not truth machines. They don't ask, is this safe? They ask, does this resemble anything that hurt before? And if the answer is even slightly yes, your system goes into alert mode. Not panic, just self-monitoring. Overthinking. Holding back. Trying not to take up space. Not because you lack personality, but because your body is trying to reduce risk. And ironically, that can make you feel even more invisible. Not because people don't care, but because you're not letting yourself be felt. Here's the painful paradox. The more you fear being replaceable, the more you unconsciously make yourself emotionally hard to replace because closeness isn't built through perfection, it's built through presence. But if you're always agreeable, always fine, always low maintenance, always okay, people believe you. They don't check in because you seem okay. They don't lean on you because you don't lean on them. They don't reach because you don't signal need. And slowly, without anyone doing anything wrong, you start to feel peripheral, replaceable. Not because you are, but because you're emotionally hidden. Here's the deeper truth. Feeling replaceable isn't about wanting to be special. It's about wanting to be secure. You're not craving attention. You're craving stability. The sense that, if I'm gone, someone would notice. If I'm quiet, someone would reach. If I struggle, someone would care. That's not ego. That's attachment. And attachment is biological. Your nervous system evolved to survive in groups, not just physically, emotionally. So when you feel replaceable, your system isn't saying I'm unworthy. It's saying I don't feel anchored. And anchoring doesn't come from being liked. It comes from being known. That's the shift. Being liked feels good. Being known feels safe. And most people who feel replaceable are very likable, but not very known. They're kind, easy to be around, supportive, but emotionally guarded. Because somewhere along the way, they learned. Being low maintenance keeps you included. Being adaptable keeps you safe. Being undemanding keeps you from being left. So you become the friend who's always okay, always flexible, always understanding. And people take you at your word, not because they don't care, but because they trust what you show. Now let's talk about what actually helps. Not changing your personality, not becoming louder, not trying to be impressive, but building emotional anchoring, not attention, not validation. Anchoring, the feeling that I exist here, and my presence has weight. Tool 1. Choose depth over breadth. Security in groups isn't built through being liked by everyone. It's built through being known by someone. One person, two people, not the whole group. Instead of trying to belong to everyone, invest in one or two connections inside the group. Someone you check in with, someone you open up to, someone you let see something real, not trauma, not heavy stories, just honesty, like I've been feeling off lately, or I overthink social stuff more than I let on, or I miss you. You don't need perfect words, you just need real ones because emotional anchoring happens through vulnerability, not fun. Fun builds connection. Vulnerability builds safety. And when you open up, most people respond with "me too." Not always in the same way, but in their own version. That's how anchoring starts. Not because you're special, but because you're known. Tool 2. Let yourself take up emotional space. Not loud space, not attention space. Emotional space. That means expressing preferences, opinions, needs discomfort, in small ways, instead of whatever you want. Try "I'd actually prefer this," instead of "it's fine." Try "that kind of hurt," instead of "I'm good." Try "I'm not great today." You don't have to do this with everyone. Just gradually, with safe people. Because when you always minimize yourself, people assume you don't need much. Not because they don't care, but because you taught them that humans respond to signals. If someone signals "I'm fine," people stop checking. If someone signals "I'm not," people lean in. Not because you're a burden, but because connection is reciprocal. Tool 3. Stop trying to be replaceable proof. A lot of people who feel replaceable try to make themselves indispensable. They become the helper, the listener, the flexible one, the low-maintenance one. If I'm useful, they'll keep me. If I'm easy, they won't leave, but people don't bond most deeply with those who are useful. They bond most deeply with those who are mutual, who give and receive, who share and are shared with. Security isn't built through being low maintenance. It's built through being real maintenance. Meaning, there's emotional exchange, not just emotional output. So instead of asking, "How do I make myself irreplaceable?" ask, "How do I let myself be emotionally present?" Presence builds connection, not performance tool. 4. Name the experience instead of becoming it. Instead of "I am replaceable," try "I feel replaceable." That small shift matters because feelings are temporary, identities feel permanent. Then ask, what would help me feel more anchored right now? Not what's wrong with me. Maybe it's reaching out. Maybe it's spending one-on-one time. Maybe it's sharing something real. Maybe it's rest, not fixing yourself, anchoring yourself. And here's a powerful truth. Feeling replaceable doesn't mean you are replaceable. It means your nervous system hasn't experienced enough stability yet. Not absence of worth. Absence of proof. Worth is inherent. Security is learned. Tool 5. Track patterns, not moments. Your brain zooms in on moments that confirm fear. A late reply, a missed invite, a quiet chat, and zooms out of moments that contradict it. Someone checking in, someone remembering, someone inviting, someone listening. So start collecting counter evidence. Not fake positivity. Real observation. Like they reached out. They remembered. They included me. Your brain is wired for threat detection, not belonging detection. So you have to train attention towards safety. Not imaginary safety. Real safety. Now something important. Sometimes the issue isn't you. It's the structure of the group. Not every group is built for emotional security. Some are activity-based, surface level, situational fun, but not deep. And if you're someone wired for emotional connection, Those groups will always feel empty. Not because you're too much, but because they're not built for depth. That doesn't make them bad, it just makes them limited. You might need different kinds of connections. Some for fun, some for depth, some for reflection. Not every friendship meets every need, but at least one should make you feel known. Now I want to speak to you directly. If you feel replaceable, it doesn't mean you're forgettable. It doesn't mean you're invisible. It doesn't mean you don't matter. It means your nervous system is tired of uncertainty. It means you want something real, not surface, not temporary. Some people are built for light connection, some for emotional connection. Neither is better, but they're different. So stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" Start asking, "What kind of connection does my nervous system need? What feels stabilizing?" Because belonging isn't about being chosen, it's about being allowed. Now let's bring this together. Feeling replaceable in friend groups is not a personality flaw. It's a nervous system state. It needs anchoring, and it grows quietly. Until one day, you stop wondering if you're replaceable.